Let's go!
I was checking out the scouting report, and I don't see nothing but bums. You and your whole entire world know that I am the one. You and your squad ain't got nothing for me.
Hey.
Your organization is looking stressed.
What?
And now that you haters is running from me, I know that you see that I'm highly blessed.
Here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go. Yeah, we live with your boy Coach G. Yeah, we live with your boy Monty.
You and your squad ain't got nothing for me. Your organization is looking stressed. And now that you haters is running from me.
Well, I'll be damned. Episode 21, The Rewind. Here we go again. Another edition, another episode brought to you by Global Sports Entertainment 3. I'm the captain of this ship, the man that's going to be the law, the prosecutor, the defendant, and the judge to rule out tonight's episode because got a great lineup for you guys tonight. Shout out to our two guests that's going to be coming on. One of them in particular is going to have hell to pay. He knows it's coming. And, we're here. Another week, another opportunity to get better. All praise to the good Lord. I want to give a special thanks to everyone who supported us so far on this Rewind journey. We are officially in the month of June, 6 months into the month of 2025. Crazy when you think about it. The Rewind just keeps on going. 21 weeks strong and standing. Train keeps rolling. Appreciate the love you guys show us on YouTube. But if you haven't, please subscribe to our YouTube channel at the Rewind_GSC3, as well as follow us on all social media platforms at the Rewind_GSC3. The road to 200 subscribers. Got to get a little creative with this thing, with the subscribers. Got to get these numbers. YouTube's a long game, but without Chris in 1990 Studios and his vision and his expertise to guide us on this journey, we probably wouldn't be where we are right now. Actually, we won't be here where we are, but we got a good lineup, a lot to talk about. And the WNBA is one of them because, I'm a big WNBA fan. The Commissioner's Cup is underway. We'll get into that later on tonight's episode. But without further ado, I want to bring on my guest because, he's just been he's been on these social media rants lately. His hot takes blowing up. Right now, both of his hot takes from 2 weeks episodes ago, where he talked about Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. That's the second highest view video, I should say, on our YouTube channel, as well as last week's with, this take was a few weeks ago when he talked about President Trump and Nick Saban when they met at Alabama in regards to the potential national sign-off order, executive order, I should say, with Saban being Saban with the NIL and trying to put a structure and stuff like that, which is right now ranked the highest viewed video on our YouTube channel. So all praise to the good Lord. Appreciate it. Brian's doing his thing, kicking ass, taking names. But let's get him in. 4-time state champion, over 400 career wins in his co-head coaching career. He's done both football and basketball. Football first. He's also in a Newark Hall of Fame. And another week where, he's not wearing any Cubs gear this week. Thank God for that. He's not wearing any Chicago Bears gear this week. Thank God for that. And, he's here. Brian Garvin, BG, another week. Rewind, episode 21. What's cracking?
I came in clean today. I'm wearing a ring. They pissed me off on IG today.
Ooh.
So I had to do what I do because a lot of people said that, you don't know basketball, you don't know football, and those two sports alone saved my life. So I really don't give a shit what they say, but I'm gonna explain it today. I'm definitely going to explain it today that I have all facts, none opinionated. It is what it is on the Rewind.
Right. On the Rewind. Well, let's do some house cleaning. I want to give a special thank you and shout out to my signature sports bar family in Union, New Jersey, Black-owned establishment, 2586 Morris Ave in Union. Want to give a special shout out to the owners, Anthony, Hawk, Angie, Miss Loretta. Oh my God, I'm drawing blanks. The whole Signatures family. Shout out to my fam, Tiara. Shout out to Nikki. Shout out to Dee Dee. Shout out to Janae. Shout out to my bestie. They do a great job there. They do what they do on a week in, week out basis. The weather's starting to get hot, so outdoor patio will be open. Cigars. I'm sure they'll have hookah, all types of stuff. But I also want to give a special shout out to all the other Black establishment that we know with Mark and Linwood Park in West Orange, Crab Bay West in West Orange also, Cherries in Jersey City. Black businesses, we're all for it. We we do our thing. We go there and show some love. So I just want to give the light, shine a light on those folks. check out their spots. Go there, have a great time. The music's always good. The food is amazing. The drinks are good. But that's what we do in a rewind. We just give people the flies while they're here. So shout out to that. And also shout out to my high-end family. Cannot forget about them. They support the rewind on a week in and week out basis. They share our content. They show us love. And they're waiting for our spring and summer collection to drop, which is somewhat still in the works. We had to pivot a little bit, but the power of the pivot, as as I always say, and we'll get there at some point. Just be patient. I promise. It's a wait you guys don't want to miss. But Bryant, man, we got two good guests coming on. One I could say is actually, you know what? I'm not going to say what I think he is right now. But the other one is a legend, an NFL legend, Newark legend, Shabazz legend. Did it all in the city of Newark, and I'm excited for tonight, man. How about you?
Hey, look, I can relate well with my man. You know, we both played football and did some great things, and my body is paying for it, and so it is. So we can have a little kumbaya tonight, and on kumbaya and talk about pain because my body, I wake up in pain every damn day. So we can sit there and talk old news and say, yeah, man, I remember I got my ass cracked this one time and I'm paying for it today. So, yeah, everyday pain. I feel it, but you know, we're alive. You know, I know he's around 65 years old and I'm getting ready to turn 55 in a few weeks. Ooh. Pain is pain, baby. Pain is pain, but hey, they said when you feel pain, you're not dead.
Let me ask you something. I know your birthday's coming up in July. Are you coming to work that week, or are you taking the week off? Just FYI.
What do you mean if I'm coming to work?
Well, I'm just saying, you know, we have an episode the week of your birthday. I'm just asking, are you coming to work that week, or are you taking it off?
Well, I'll be in Chicago that is that Wednesday, the 2nd.
Are you coming to work?
I might. I'll let you know. It's just 3 weeks away, so it is what it is. We talk about that shit when we get there.
All right, we want to bring on our first guest. He is an NFL legend. Reggie Truck Brown is a former professional athlete, author, speaker, and entrepreneur. He is also the CEO, Great Day to Be Alive, LLC, drafted as a running back by the Atlanta Falcons. He played the league for nearly a decade with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, USFL, Arizona Outlaws, and retired with the Philadelphia Eagles. Today, he is in the best shape ever and serves as part of the NFL Alumni Association, as a wellness coach. He spent his college years in Oregon, as well as a Pasadena college, where he was inducted into the Hall of Fame as their all-time leading rusher. A high-energy, transparent, and transformational speaker, Reggie has addressed audiences of over 50,000 people across in the United States and abroad at events, conferences, university, athletic programs since his days in the NFL. Making his first appearance on the Rewind, the NFL great, Newark great, Shabazz great, running back great, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Philadelphia Eagles great, Reggie Truck Brown. Great day to be alive, sir.
Great day to be alive. It don't get no gooder. Amen.
I gotta look that word up. Gooder.
Hey man, listen, I'm gonna tell you this. I gotta tell you before you go there. See, somebody told me that's not a word, but I said all words are made up. I made that one up. But Chevrolet used that in the commercial. I heard it. Chevrolet used it in the commercial. They're getting paid. Gooder.
Chad GPT, they have Gooder.
Amen. They all made up. So, okay. But like I said, great day to be alive. Listen, I've been saying that for 40 years. And somebody asked me, what's so great about it? Try missing one. And then come back and tell me that.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
Yes, sir. For 40 years, matter of fact, when I was going to Oregon, we had a coach that always came out there every day, and you didn't rain in Oregon all the time, right? Said, great day to be alive, be a duck.
Mm-hmm.
So you know what? 40 years later, I'm still saying great day to be alive.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to tell you what. Some time ago, in my first marriage in Jersey, I lived in Union. She said to me, if you do something for 30 days, it becomes a habit. And you know what? I've been saying for 40 years. So what kind of day you think I'm going to have? I don't have bad days. I don't have bad days. No. Don't have bad days. I got challenging days, but no bad days. Because once I wake up, I got a chance. I tell you, I talk a lot, man, but get me started. But I'm gonna do what you ask. I'm gonna do it the way you say.
You
I'm
good, brother?
right? Great day to be alive.
Great day to be alive.
Hey, man, this is it, man. Listen, when you talk about pain, let me just say this. My body hurts. I go to the gym twice a day.
Mm-hmm.
I wake up first thing in the morning, 6:30, 7 o'clock, I'm in the gym. I come home, take me a little snooze, eat something, and go back to the gym.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm in the best shape of my life. I got a trainer on Tuesday and Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why I pay somebody to kick my butt. But I'm going to tell you this. What he did to me this past week, I asked myself, why do I do this?
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? It's not for the results. It's the resolve.
Mm-hmm.
I feel so much better, man. I had my knee replaced a year and a half ago. My right knee replaced. Listen, I do 6 to 8 miles a day. 6 to 8 miles a day. And if I don't go to the gym, I don't move because my body hurts.
Mm-hmm.
I roll out of bed.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get out. I roll out because I can't just get up like that. But I'm gonna tell you this right now. In the last 7 weeks, I've lost 30 pounds because I decided to make a change in my life. Okay. And somebody said, how do you do that, Reg? Well, listen, there's a word that I want to give, and that word is Icide. ICIDE. Icide means nothing. But if you add some things to it, it means something. Suicide. Homicide. Genocide, to kill a whole bunch. But when you decide to go forward, you kill all the options going back. Going forward. I play running back. I don't go backwards. I go forward. You can't drive going backwards. Got to go forward. Let's go. Let's go. I'm on.
Ooh, inspiration, baby. Inspiration. Oh, I'm ready to play right now. Let's go, coach.
Hey, man. Listen, I tell you, man, I gotta listen. I gotta motivate myself, man. You know what I mean? Like you talk about the pain. Listen, my body hurts, man. I'm telling you. I mean, my body hurts. But you know, when I feel pain, that means something got to be done, and I'm doing it. You know, I got 30 pounds off, got 20 more to go. I was 301 when I started. I'm 271 right now. I got 20 more to go. And you know what? I'm not playing. I go to the gym twice a day. And I ain't going back to play, but I tell you what, I'm going to play with the rest of my life. I'm going to enjoy it. Okay. I don't say great day to be alive for nothing. Okay. I mean, this is a journey, man. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna be quiet. Let y'all go ahead, man. Say what you got to say. I got to do my thing. I do this. I tell you, I get excited,
I'm ready to
man.
work out with you now, man. I'm ready to work out with you now.
He can't handle your workouts because he can't even handle mine.
That's a lie.
He can't handle mine.
That's a lie. That's damn sure a lie.
You see, I sit there and I go light. You know what I mean? Because there's no reason for me to go that heavy these days. It makes no sense. But you know, us football players, we're on routine. So everything is routine. We do the same thing all the time, routine, because you focused on that. And when you at this age, you can't do all those crazy freaking workouts and stuff. You have reduced down to a daily routine of what you stick to keep everything right and tight. That's the goal.
You better talk.
That's the goal.
I try to get that much. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
As soon as you do something else, next thing you know, it's what it is. He don't understand that yet.
65, 64. Whoa. Keep living.
Yes, sir.
I got a long way to go, but I just know working out with Bryant, I'm good. I get it, Bryant. You know, his workout routine is literally the same every day, full body every day. His stretching 45 minutes before he even picks up a weight every day. Sauna 20 minutes before the workout, 20 minutes after the workout every day, which is not a problem. Not a problem at all. I love it. But it'd be great if it was the three of us, but you do know there's one more. And I'm not sure how I'm going to act with this gentleman tonight. I'm not sure my mood. Depends on how I go. Depends on how I feel. I mean, God damn it, this is a rewind. I don't have to be nice. There are no rules. There are no regulations. Cursing is prohibited in tonight's episode, as well as any episode. But I want to be proper. I want to be professional because that's what I do. That's what it's all about. I want to introduce him. His brother here is a proud husband, father, and a passionate educator, and a committed public servant dedicated to contributing to society in many meaningful ways as possible. born and raised in the North Jersey city of Passaic. His brother is a bona fide sports junkie. He grew up in 1980s football, especially Passaic High School teams led by Craig Ironhead Hayward.
Yeah.
And was equivalently captivated by basketball, rooting for the New York Knicks, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's Lakers, and the Georgetown Hoyas. He also became an avid boxing fan, and yes, he still insists Hagler won the fight and continues to follow Formula One and niche sports like European darts. This brother is a proud HBCU graduate of Morgan State University. He holds master's degrees from NJCU, New Jersey City University, and Montclair State University. Over the course of his career, he served as a teacher, school leader, and district administrator in Teaneck, Rahway, and Passaic. To this brother, sports is a micronism of society and have deeply influenced both his worldwide and his approach to leadership. A dedicated public servant beyond the school system, Chad is actively involved in community service through Anita's Dreams Catchers and Christ Church in Montclair. Most recently, Chad has begun developing a social media presence where he creates content focused on vital societal conversations as well as engaging lifestyle and cultural events. He believes that living a life of service to others while still making space to explore personal passions is the most meaningful and fulfilling way to spend time we are blessed with in this world. Now, this guy right here, not also is a member of the high-end family. Shout out to my high-end cigar family. Not also is he a proud member of the Signature Sports Bar Membership Committee. Shout out to Signatures. But he's also, you know what? I'm going to say that for later. I want to introduce my big brother, his first episode edition, his first appearance, and it damn sure won't be his last after tonight. I guarantee that. Chad, welcome into the Rewind. Appreciate you taking the time. Long overdue.
Let's
when
go.
we started this thing in January, you were a big advocate to come on. I made it my mission to have you come on to start up the month of June right. Now, also, we got Mr. Brown, the truck Brown in service. But damn it, it's gonna be trucking Moss over Chad tonight. Guarantee that, brother. Yeah. What's good, man? How are you? Good to see you, man. Good to see you,
man. Blessed to be here, man. I'm not gonna be as loquacious as Brother Reg. But because I can be.
Why not? Do it then. Do the thing, man. Do the thing.
Man, I'm just excited to be here, man. We got a lot of ground to cover, and I like the opportunity to come talk sports. I mean, I've never really had a formal conversation with sports with brothers, and it's like I'm just bringing high end and signatures to the net. So that's pretty dope, man. I'm looking forward to it.
Let's go, man.
But I'm not here to change hearts and minds. I know hearts are solidified, but I'm just trying to get in that mind a little bit. Speak some sense.
Oh, speak some sense. Well, I'll be damned. Let's get into it, folks. We are officially down to 2. It was 4 a week ago. It's now 2 right now. Game 1 will be on Thursday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern time on ABC. Mike Breen, Reggie Miller, and Doris Burke will have the call. Game 1 of the NBA Finals, live from Oklahoma. How did these two teams get here? Well, Oklahoma City took care of business in the Western Conference Final over the Minnesota Timberwolves, cleaned them up 4-1. And then fast forward to the Eastern Conference Final, the Pacers. Yeah, everybody thought the Knicks was going to come back after they won, but unfortunately, that just wasn't going to happen. Tyrese Halliburton made sure Game 6 was going to be the last game for the series against the Knicks, and they won in dominant fashion. Pacers advanced to the NBA Finals for the first time since 2000, where they lost to my Los Angeles Lakers. Shout out to Shaq and Kobe, Phil Jackson, and others. Game 6, 125-108. Pascal Siakam, 31 points, 5 rebounds, 3 blocks. He was named the Eastern Conference Final MVP. Everyone thought that it would go to Tyrese Halliburton. If you thought that would be the case, you're a damn fool. This brother right here, Pascal Siakam, deserved it with the Larry Bird Trophy. But, Bryant, let's get into it, man. The Pacers took care of business in 6, 4-2. What was your takeaway from the Pacers win in Game 6 as well as your takeaway from the series with the win over the Knicks to advance to the NBA Finals?
Oh, we talked about this, previous before when these games, before they get ready to get played, that the Knicks didn't have a chance. They should have lost against Boston. If Boston was healthy, they would have lost that series. Boston let them off the hook. Boston should be there, but I still think that Indiana would have beat Boston anyway because they were banged up anyhow. But the Knicks organization is just in shambles, and it was like break busting at the seams anyway during this series. And pretty much as you go through some videos and seeing some things that was said throughout the course of the year with Tibbs, it reminds me of when Tibbs was with the Bulls. It was just the same thing unraveling all over the place. So, everybody's talking about Tibbs as a good coach. He is a good coach, but he's not a finishing coach. He just doesn't know how to finish seasons. And it's just those guys that played too many minutes. It kind of burned them out again. And they just physically not capable of lasting that long and that amount of minutes throughout the course of a year and in the playoffs. So my hat goes off to Indiana. I was rooting for them from the beginning of this series to get to the finals because, like I said before, I can walk from Chicago to Indiana because Indiana is basically about 30 steps from my house where my aunt lived back in the days in the 80s. So, man, it's just what it is. I'm still going to say that Indiana was pound for pound better than them. They were bigger, stronger, faster, quicker. They beat them to every freaking punch. Knicks had no answer. Tibbs made no adjustments. They lost. It's just that simple. And we're going to talk about this in my take, but it kind of burned my bridges all day. I was sending you videos on IG, and I was like, yo, people are sitting there talking about like they know something, but I know. I won 4 or 5 of these as a head coach, so I think I know what the hell is going on. And I got a couple of calls, and I talked to a couple of guys at Charlie Mitchell, and we spoke early this morning for about a good 45 minutes about this whole segment. So that's my little take on it. And I think Indiana is going to struggle here against the OKC. OKC is dominant, but it's going to be a good series. I see it going 7.
Chad, I want to piggyback to you because, of course, you've been a advocate for this series in particular. You were on to say that the Pacers will win this series. They did win in 6. But the Pacers did overcome a lot in this NBA postseason. Let's not forget they did go into Cleveland. They did win in Cleveland, send the Cleveland Cavaliers home, despite Cleveland being injured, of course, throughout the series, which was hurted with Evan Mobley and Darius Garland being out. But with this Pacers win in Game 6, Chad, what do you look forward to seeing from the Pacers as they enter a tough contest against the best team in the NBA, the best team in the Western Conference, and of course the reigning MVP in SGA? What do you look forward to seeing from them with the NBA Finals tipping off tomorrow?
First thing I want to say, I knew that the Knicks were cooked as soon as that ball bounced up and bounced right back down.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. I mean, I've lived this life long enough to know what that meant. I would say this: the best thing about Game 6 was when Hallie played himself when he walked up to get that Eastern Conference Final trip. The MVP. I was thankful that I had one last moment to laugh as a Knicks fan. How he played himself. Like you want to talk about light skin arrogance? That was like light skin arrogance to like the highest.
Whoa.
Did you just see Monty's face just drop?
I know my people.
Wait, I heard light skin. Don't do that.
Listen,
don't do that.
Representation as a lifelong member of the club, I know light skin arrogance when I see it. And he walked up like, oh, this I got this.
Accept this award from Reggie Miller. Are we good?
Yeah, right. So that was the last thing. But listen, it was definitely one of those things where styles make fights, just like last year. Like once that was the matchup, I didn't really have a lot of confidence in it, but it would have been nice, whatever. I mean, as a Knicks fan, whatever. But at the same time, from a realistic standpoint, I just know that TJ McConnell's going to bust their ass. What's Nahar? Whatever the one with the
Naismith.
He's gonna ball like he doesn't against anybody else. Mm-hmm. Like it's just kind of what has happened over the last 2 seasons, regular season and postseason. You know what I'm saying? So I think that I think that Chet is gonna be the key though.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I think Chet is really gonna be the key. I don't think they have an answer for him when he's on. So I'm interested to see how they kind of make their pivot because, I feel like that they feel real accomplished right now, right? And like I'm not sure if they're really trying to that they're locked in on the chip the way that I would think that they should be locked in on. But at the same time, I think that SGA is on a mission. I think they have some really good firepower that listen, no one's surprised that they're in this championship. Right. So so we have the team that everybody's kind of, a little surprised that they made it through all these obstacles. But at the same time, and we have basically the team that's been one of the favorites all year to be here. So looking forward to see how it all plays out. But I think we're ready. My prediction is obviously SGA is going to be finals MVP and they'll bring one to OKC in a way that KD couldn't, that Harden couldn't, and I'll never shit on Russ. So
Me either.
I'm not going to finish the statement.
Me either. As you said, it'll be, regardless of the winner of this upcoming NBA Finals series, it'll be the first for Oklahoma City if they can get that done in franchise history. Of course, them, after merging or leaving Seattle and coming to Oklahoma City and merging, that has nothing to do. That's two different organizations. So this would be the first in team history. But Reggie, I did hear you oversay that this Indiana Pacer team was too much for Chad's sorry ass Knicks. I'd say that. I'm sorry, Chad. This is the first of many, brother. You just get comfortable. Get comfortable,
man. I'm good.
Get comfortable,
Listen, man. It is what it is. It played out how it played out.
Mm-hmm.
Reggie, who do you like in this NBA Finals series between Indiana and OKC? And if you had to give a prediction, who do you got winning and how many games?
Well, man, I think it's going to go 7. I really do. I think they really – it's a good match other than Chad. They don't have nobody that can do nothing with Chad. And like you said, when he's on, it's going to be a good one. I think this is going to be one of the better series we've watched in a while. It's going to be good, man, because they're both three-point shooting teams. They're going to do their thing, man. But I really think Shea and his team got a little bit more.
They do.
I really thought that these two would make it. I didn't think New York after the first game that they was down 20 and they come back and that shot go up and come back down and fall in. I said, that's it. It's over. That was the game right there. That was the whole series. Mm-hmm. That just shut them down. It didn't give them had no hope. Okay, they had after that shot, it was done. I could have waited to the 7th game the next week. Okay, okay. I like the Knicks. I don't have a particular team, but I like the Knicks because I'm from Jersey. You know what I mean? But at the same time, Thibodeau, he's not a closer. He's never been a closer. But I really think that they had a good opportunity. They played well, but Indiana was too much for them.
Mm-hmm. Just a fun fact in regards to this series between the Knicks and Pacers: 8.12 million people watched Game 6 of the Eastern Conference Final. That was the most watched game throughout the entire NBA playoffs. So that just goes to show 8 million people, and probably half of them, 4 million of them, were probably Knicks fans, and then the other 4 were probably Pacers fans. And now we get to see probably the best series when we talk about these two teams, because once Boston got eliminated from being injured, everyone had a lot of stock in Cleveland. I know I was one of the petition that came on here and said I like Cleveland's shot to get to the Eastern Conference Final. We knew Milwaukee wasn't going to do anything once Damian Lillard tore his Achilles. But right now we got the best two teams, the best in the West, the best in the East, and we getting ready to get it on tomorrow night on ABC. God damn it, and it's going to be a good one. So Brian, you're a coach. Take us through from a coach's mind philosophy. You've seen Indiana play. You've seen Oklahoma City play. We know Indiana has, of course, Miles Turner, Pascal Siakam, Naismith, of course, Tyrese Halliburton. You got TJ McCollum coming off the bench. But then we look at OKC, just the firepower that they have with SGA. They have Chet Holmgren. They have Jared Williams. They have Wiggins. They have Harkenstein. They have Blue Dort, who I think in this series right here has a very major assignment with the assignment of guarding, of course, Tyrese Halliburton, because my opinion, all the things that Tyrese Halliburton was able to do against the Knicks, because we know the Knicks don't defend because Tom Thibodeau's paying Josh Hart, Mikal Bridges 40 minutes a game. I just think that, Tyrese Halliburton is going to have a long night at the office, especially with Lou Dort guarding him. And then you have also Williams, who's a great defender. That they do a lot of switches off the pick and roll. But from a coach's philosophy with game one, what are some of your keys to the game ahead of game one tomorrow night on ABC?
I think all 7 games, because it's going to go 7, but defensively, man, this is probably going to be the best defensive game that we've seen in the NBA since the Jordan era. It's just going to be a phenomenal juggernaut. Like 2 teams are going to go at each other. They both are tall. They both are rangy. They both are big. They both play defense. And I thought Cleveland would be here because they have that same type of feel, but Cleveland just can't score. This team can score. So both teams, they put up 100+ points per game, even with hard defenses. Now, you may see a game here where neither team will score 100. You just may see one. You may see one. They're going to play that hard. Because Indiana has never been here. OKC is a add-on team that has never been here, and they want that first one.
Well, what do you mean never been here? OKC was here when they lost to Miami. Indiana hasn't been here in 25 years when they lost to the Lakers.
They never won a championship ever.
Oh, well, that's a different story.
Yeah, they never won one.
Different story. No holds barred.
They never won. Neither team never won. So at the end of the day, they're going for blood for each other.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
It's just as simple. Defensively, to me, in my opinion, this is going to be more of a defensive game than the offensive games.
Well, shit, when I look at Oklahoma City and what they were able to do last series against the Minnesota Timberwolves, and I believe game 6. No, I'm sorry, game 5, because it was over 4-1. End of the first quarter was 26-8 or 26-10. That's just how the intensity on defense Oklahoma City can get to, and they can flip that switch at any point throughout. They don't give up points. They rarely give up over 100 points consistently. And Anthony Edwards, being the number one guy for Oklahoma, I mean, shit, one game in that series, he only had 18 points.
He quit. He didn't show up. He didn't show up. This team here, Indiana, is not going to do what he did. They're just not going to do it.
Well, Tyree Halliburton, no.
He quit. He quit. So you're not going to see no 28-8. You're not going to see that in this series. You're going to see 26-25. It can go either way, give or take. This is going to be a war. It is. Neither team has won a championship ever. You know what I mean? And Indiana is older than the OKC. So at the end of the day, man, this is going to be. You're going to see Ironhead Haywood playing out there. This is going to be a football game. It really is. I'll be shocked if it's not. I really would, because for me, back in 2001 and winning a state championship, this was my first one. I was going for blood. So both teams are going to go for each other, and it's going to be a great series that we haven't seen in over 20-something years. It's just my opinion.
Well, how could you say over the past 20 years when we had great final series throughout the last 10?
That wasn't no great finals. We're seeing them damn put together teams and watching that bullshit.
Celtic Lakers 2010 went 7 games. That wasn't a good series.
No.
Celtics Lakers. Lakers, the greatest NBA rivalry of all time, going 7 games.
Nobody cares about that except for Jordan. After Jordan just fell off. Nobody talk about Kobe and all that other stuff.
Somebody help this man.
Nobody want to talk about none of that stuff. They want to talk about the Bulls. And that Bulls team that went 72-10 is probably one of the best defensive freaking teams that ever been put together. Period. You can't say it's not. You can't say it's not.
I'm gonna come back. That
freaking Lakers and that nonsense.
How could you disrespect the last 20 years of the NBA Finals by saying this is going to be the best series in the last 20 years?
Look, we will see. We will see. You're a Lakers fan. And get die-hard Kobe guy. But let me tell you. Let me tell you. But they never win 72-10.
They need to. What was the result?
I understand they won. I understand that means the rest of the league was trash.
Okay, so Bulls going 72-10. I mean, the rest of the league was what?
No, the league was good.
All right, Bryant, you got it.
They dominated everybody.
Let's move on. You
freaking young boys! I swear.
I'm not discrediting the 72-10 Bulls. I'm not trying to Jackson. I'm not taking anything away. I'm not taking anything away. I mean, that was
you can't.
Okay, so
you can't.
Let's compare the 72-10 Chicago Bulls to the 73-9 Golden State Warriors with Kevin Durant. Is it
trash? That era was trash, and they freaking lost. And they lost.
Okay.
They went 7 and they lost.
Okay.
Ass.
Okay.
They lost.
The Lakers not ass. Watch it.
They lost.
Watch it.
You talk about Golden State and they lost.
I'm just saying that they talk about that, about being one of the greatest teams ever assembled.
And they lost.
I agree.
It can't be great when you lose.
All right. Well, let's move forward before I fire your ass. All right. Speaking of firings, New York Knicks have dismissed Tom Thibodeau of his duty as head coach of New York Knicks. Knicks just finished with their best record as well. I'm sorry, their best season in the last 25 years. Tom Thibodeau record as head coach of New York Knicks, 226 and 174 record. Bryant, what's your takeaway from the news of Tom Thibodeau being fired? And in your opinion, as well as I want to get the Reggie and also Chad's opinion, was this the right move for the Knicks to make with moving on from Tom Thibodeau as head coach?
I got some opinions about that. They could be opinions. It could be facts too. 5 years, Thibodeau, he's pretty much done the same thing in each team that he's been around. And, he's given the opportunity and then he's pretty much hit his ceiling. That's just what it is. So they fired him off of those notions of what he has done with the Knicks, the Bulls, and whatever it may be. It's a 50-50 call because it depends on who they hire next to coach this team, this type of team. It's not an easy team to coach. They're not very talented. They're good, but they're not blow your top off talented. They're just not. They got a lot of missing pieces on that team. But, it's going to be, I think they should hire Mark Jackson so he can do what he needs to do. But, Mark Jackson he's got a little, they put a black cloud on top of him. He
gatekeeps out of the NBA.
Yeah, it's just what it is. And it's a shame because he's a Knick. So, it depends. It depends on who they put in there. I think Tibbs did have to go. I think he needs to go to some bottom feeder team and build it up so where he can maintain his job because he can take them from nothing to something, and then they're forced to keep him because of where they got him in the semifinals and the finals. Because that's his ceiling. He's gonna hurt a lot of players because they play him too damn much. And it is what it is. He's happy. He's not starving. He's got $30 million. So, and he's going to be having his feet up somewhere. Yeah, I would like they can fire me any day, give me $30 million. I wouldn't give a shit. So, but at the end of the day, New York's did the right thing. They just got to do the right thing by hiring the right person.
Chad, I want to get your perspective before I ask Reggie. The Knicks playoff series wins from a span of 2001 to 2020 was one playoff win during that span of 19 years. Just from 2021 to 2025, the Knicks have won 4. But of course, Leon Rose came out with a statement yesterday saying, and quote, "Our organization is singularly focused on winning a championship for our fans." This led us to the difficult decision to inform Tom Thibodeau that we've decided to move in another direction. We can't thank Tom enough for pouring his heart and soul into each and every day of being the New York Knicks head coach. He led us not only with class and professionalism for the past 5 seasons, but also to tremendous success on the court with 4 playoff berths and 4 playoff series victories. Ultimately, we made the decision we feel is best for our organization moving forward. Tom will always be a part of our Knicks family, and we truly wish him nothing but the best in the future. Now, Chad, what's your take on this statement released by Leon Rose? And in your opinion, where do the Knicks need to go? Where should they look as they start the search for the next head coach of this team?
First off, listen, it was a difficult decision. That's an absolute falsehood. It wasn't difficult. If you know Leon's aggressive. He makes decisions, sometimes shoots from the hip. So it wasn't difficult at all. He's probably wanted to fire Tibbs all year, but there was no real rationale. So you wait till the end of the season, and where it's evident that people feel that the team needs to make a next step. So it's a clean break now. And I'll say this: no one celebrated when Tibbs was hired. Nobody's crying that when Tibbs got fired. Right. So we all know that. I mean, I feel like the Knicks achieved despite Tibbs. So I think moving forward, I like what is it, Johnny Bryant as an option. He has some familiarity with the organization. And I only say that because I know they're not going to do the right thing by hiring Mark Jackson. You know what I mean? And that just kind of ticks me off a little bit. But at the same time, I think that Brian having some familiarity with the roster and also working with Leon and World Wide West, you know, and I think that I also think that explains the timing because he's a finalist for the Phoenix job.
Correct.
You know, so with him being so kind of, I think it really forced the Knicks' hand to make the decision right now, so they could still kind of have Brian as one of their options, and maybe they can work something out. I also think it doesn't bode well for Mark Jackson as well for the same reason. You know, I think that they timed this in a way that as they saw that he was working through that Phoenix process, I think it was reported that he's 1 or 2 finalists. So I think that Johnny Bryant is probably the man for the job. My heart would want Mark Jackson to do what he started in Golden State, because what he was started at the evolution of that dynasty, the way that he kind of just hit all the right switches and he connected with the players on a different level is something I'm not sure anybody else can really do the way that Mark Jackson does, has the ability to do. So I'm looking at Johnny Bryant because I don't really want to talk myself into thinking that Mark Jackson has a shot when I think that they're not going to do the right thing by him.
And that's a shame because Mark Jackson can coach Brunson and get Brunson right, because Brunson, Tiz put the ball in his hand too damn long. It's just too long. He held it, and then next thing you know, once he wound up releasing the ball and passing on the wings or what, you want those guys to create with 6 seconds on the clock. It's just not going to happen.
Listen, and Jalen's really is only a more offensively aggressive version of Mark Jackson.
Right.
He uses his butt. He backs you down. He has the teardrop.
Right.
He has everything. He's literally just a 2025 version of Mark Jackson. I couldn't imagine how they will work together.
Right. And that's when you put those two together. It's like Mark Jackson was more of a pass first guy, and score second. And that's what the Knicks are missing, because they didn't make anybody else better. They put all the emphasis on him to score. And
not play make.
Right. So if you can score, he can put up 26 points, you're still losing. So it means nothing. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have Karl Anthony Towns do his thing. You gotta have Bridges. Bridges was man, look, and I had this conversation with a lot of people today about Bridges, and I said Bridges was the best player on that team. But yet, if you go back to him, watch him play at Phoenix, he was phenomenal on both sides. But now you put him with his teammates from back in Villanova, both of them average 17 points a game at Villanova. But now Brunson is the guy because of money. You put the money ball in money hands, he's dictating the pace. You got Bridges just sitting there watching. And he's a playmaker. You know what I'm saying? And why would you basically froze the kid out all year long, and he stopped playing defense. He just stopped. Offensively, he just really was chucking up shots and really didn't care. And the whole team just shut down. And you saw it with Hart. You saw it with Bridges. You saw Jalen was in there trying to yell at them, try to get them going. But the inconsistencies was there because it started from Tibbs. Tibbs, you can't put the ball in his freaking hands for 40 freaking minutes. It's just what it is.
Yeah. Reggie, let's get your perspective on this, because I think right now when we look at this New York Knicks job, I think it's probably one of the most interesting jobs right now in the NBA that you'll see or ever going to see, because of what the nucleus that the Knicks traded to acquire Karl Anthony Towns, to acquire Mikal Bridges. And, of course, some notable names that have been in the search for this job is Mike Brown, who got fired earlier this year from the Sacramento Kings, Michael Malone, who's also a favorite for the job after winning an NBA championship with the Denver Nuggets, Taylor Jenkins, who got fired earlier this year from the Memphis Grizzlies, Jeff Van Gundy, who's a former Knicks coach as well as currently an assistant on the Los Angeles Clippers, and Jay Wright, and of course, Meta World Peace. Now, in my opinion, Jay Wright is happily in retirement doing TV for CBS Sports. I don't think Meta World Peace has a shot at this, but in today's world in NBA, you can never say never. So, Reggie, where do the Knicks go? Should they go and get a Michael Malone who probably has the best resume out of all these candidates here with an NBA championship with the Denver Nuggets? He knows a championship pedigree and know how to build a championship roster. He knows how to use his bench, something Tom Thibodeau didn't know how to use throughout the regular season as well as the postseason. Reggie, where do the Knicks go?
Well, man, Mark Jackson will be a logical choice. He knows where he's at in New York, and people listen to him. He can coach. We already know that from being in Golden State. Why he's not in Golden State after all the stuff he did and how that happened is not. It's got me baffled, man. But other than Mark Jackson, Malone, that's the only two things that I know. Those are the only two things I look at and say, well, they have an opportunity to do something good. There's a lot of people that could coach and probably could go get, but you got to look at who's doing it. This Leon guy, right? Man, listen, he got a mind of his own, and you don't have a head coach to go and draft who you want to draft or trade for who you want to trade for. So right now, you can't do all that because you don't know who the head coach is going to be. You know what I mean?
Agreed.
There's a lot of different points and a lot of different pieces that will come after they get a coach, but they got to do that quick. Mark Jackson would be a great choice, man. I would love that. I mean, who wouldn't? A New York guy.
He is. He is.
Yeah.
Well, we shall see. Go ahead, Bryant.
Where the hell did Worldwide West come into play?
He's been on James Dolan's hip as well as Leon Rose's hip since he got to New York, and he has a lot of influence, I should say, in the front office with the moves that they make.
He's never coached, has he?
Worldwide West, no, he's been an executive for the last.
Yeah, he's like years. An AAU overlord of the NBA.
I'm like, I heard his name on ESPN. I'm like, wait a minute. You mean the guy that was working in a sneaker store is now considered as a coach? You got to be fucking kidding me.
His resume is pretty good when you talk about Worldwide West.
I understand
as well.
I understand as far as getting players and bring them here and doing the executive, putting teams together. I understand that because his connections, all that started from the sneaker store. But my thing is, how is he in a consideration to be a coach?
Well, I don't think Worldwide West is not in consideration for the coach. Worldwide West has influence to help pick the next head coach for the New York Knicks.
Thank you for that clarification, because you scared me there for a minute. I'm like,
I did not scare you.
Yeah, no, but I kept hearing his name saying that Worldwide West was considered.
He is on the hip to Dolan, and he's also a big advocate for Johnny Bryant to get this job because of his relationship with Johnny and how, of course, Johnny, if you don't remember, he served as an interim head coach previously with the Knicks after the Knicks fired their head coach. So there's some relationship going on. There's a connection. There's a tie there. I don't know if Johnny is going to be the option. As Chad pointed out earlier, he's a top candidate or top two candidate, I should say, for an NBA job. But, we shall see. But before we move on, fellas, just want to I'll start from Chad. I'll go to Reggie. I'll go to Bryant, and then I'll leave myself. Let's get NBA Finals predictions out on the table. Chad, Pacers, Thunder tomorrow night, Game 1. Who wins this series and who is winning the NBA trophy?
Game 1, Thunder blowout. It's going to go 6, and SGA is going to get the MVP.
So Thunder in
6.
Thunder in 6.
Thunder in 6. If was a whiff, Brian and I would be on an island with some myths. Milk. We used to say if was a fifth, we'd all be drunk.
It said the same thing. That's funny. Reggie, give me your final prediction. Thunder, Pacers. Who do you got? Who wins and how many games?
I think the Thunder are going to do it in 7. It's going to be a good series, but it's going to be tight, though. It's going to be the tightest 7 game you ever seen. I promise you that. Because they're not evenly matched, but they got a lot of same stuff. The 3-point shot is what worked for both of them. They both can shoot the ball, man. I'm trying to tell you. When I think about both of those, I had an idea that those two were gonna make it, but at the same time, that was just my thought. But my thought don't mean nothing. But at the same time, still gotta play the game.
Look, Reggie, I don't care what anybody says. Your thought matters on the rewind. All right. That's why you're here. That's why you're here.
Thanks for the thought.
Responsibility. Understand that responsibility.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Bryant, Thunder Pacers, we're here. Game 1 tomorrow night. Who's your prediction? Who do you got winning and how many games?
OKC, man. It's going to be the Siaka SGA show all the way through. I call him Siaka.
Hey.
He's playing like he's Zoo Crew. he's
from the hood.
He's from the hood.
Shout out to Coach OG, brother.
He's playing like he's straight from the Zoo Crew, man. He's balling. So basically, both of these teams are pretty good.
Yeah.
I can't see any blowouts. I just can't. Defensively, they're just match up pretty well.
Yeah.
It's going to be tough. I got them going in 7. I got OKC winning it, but I got them winning by a 2-point margin. That's my opinion. That it's going to be that close.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Gotta save the best for last. Pacers and Thunder. Chris. Boy, I tell you. I'll say this. Indiana has had a phenomenal year. They've had a great postseason run. Beating Cleveland on the road isn't easy. Taking care of those Knicks, that damn sure wasn't a problem. Despite, the Knicks winning Game 5 at the Garden, which they were supposed to do. Duh, they can't send their fans home angry with a loss at home. They got to win. But they knew getting on that plane going back to Indiana, they knew what time it was. Yeah. They knew that Indiana was getting ready to tax that ass. And they damn sure did tax that ass and sent them home. Pascal Siakam, great job, coaching job by Rick Carlisle and his staff. Rick Carlisle has outcoached, of course, Tibbs in this past series. But he's been here before. He is an NBA Finals champion. People forget he won in 2011 with the Dallas Mavericks beating the Miami Heat. Experience matters. But I just think his roster coming into this series just won't be enough. I mean, we got SGA, right? We got the man who's an NBA leading scorer right now. He's a scoring champion for the NBA. He's averaged 30 points in the last 3 years. He has won the MVP this year, well-only deserved, despite all you Jokers haters that say Joker should have won. But there's one thing left on his resume this year that he does not have, and that is what? An NBA Finals. And better yet, add the NBA Finals MVP to the resume while you're at it. SGA, he's getting to the free throw line 10 to 14 times a game. Everyone's complaining about him getting to the line, but it's the same thing Kobe was doing. It's the same thing Mike was doing. They know how to manipulate the game, get to the line, and get the freebies. And he makes his free throws. It makes his game easier. So he's able to go out there and score 30-plus points a game. Why? Because he's getting to the free throw line 14, 15 times a night. Now, if you're Indiana, you got a lot to figure out on how you're going to stop him. But SGA, he's here. They're on a mission. I got OKC in 6. I don't think Indiana has enough firepower to make it to 7. But if we're talking about money, of course, and ratings, it'll go 7 because, of course, the Knicks series definitely couldn't. And I look forward to a Game 1 tomorrow night on ABC, 8:30. Doris Burke, Mike Breen, and Richard Jefferson had the call. But we are fast forwarding. I know I'm not a fan of that. I'm not a fan of that either. I miss Mike Breen, Jeff Van Gundy, and Mark Jackson. There's no NBA Finals better than that. I mean, of course, besides Kevin Harlan, but Kevin Harlan's on Turner. But, Doris Burke, I'm all for women in sports. Her as a broadcast, she's a phenomenal mind. Some people say she's great. Some people say she sucks. Richard Jefferson, his personality is okay and all, but he's a little trash as a color commentary guy. I mean, shit, you can put Brian or Reggie or even you, Chad, in the color commentary seat. I'm sure it'd be more entertaining than what we see right now, but we look forward to it. I look forward to it. I know they're going to do the damn thing as well. Mike Breen doing what he does. Another season, another NBA Finals call for him. Shout out to him. Congratulations on a tremendous career. But moving on, WNBA, 8 games so far into the 2025 WNBA season. The Minnesota Lynx are the hottest team and, of course, the best team behind the New York Liberty. Liberty being at 7-0. 8-0, Nafisa Collier leads the league in scoring, averaging over 26 points a game. She's been doing a damn thing. My pick to be the MVP this year. My pick, of course, to be is the best player in the WNBA. No disrespect to Aja Wilson. No disrespect to all the Caitlin Clark fans out there. I'm not trying to step on anybody's toes. But the Commissioner Cup is underway. Fever improved yesterday to 3-4 without Caitlin Clark, who's still out with her hamstring injury. 85-76 over Washington. Minnesota Lynx had no problem with taking care of the Phoenix Mercury, 88-65. Seattle Storm, 83-77 over the Wings. But just a fun fact for all you people out there that don't follow the WNBA or don't know where to start, it's safe to start now, early in the season, right? But right now, the Liberty leads the league in points per game, assists per game, blocks per game, field goal percentage, 3-point field goal percentage, and 3-point baskets made. Now, shit, if you saw that game the other night against the Connecticut Sun, they beat the dog shit out of them. I believe it was like 100-54. It was fucking – the game was over before it even started.
Right.
But the New York Liberty are here, and they ain't fucking around. But Minnesota, can't sleep on them either. But, Bryant, any comments for the first 8 games throughout the season, or are you okay with where we are in the league?
I'm okay where we are. I think it's great the way the WNBA is going without Caitlin Clark playing. I think, a lot of other girls are getting some notoriety while she sit on the sideline, and it's boosting up the ratings. I think, the Liberty are basically doing a phenomenal job, as well as Minnesota. I love it. I love it. I love everything. I don't have to hear Caitlin Clark name every 15 goddamn seconds. And it's a wonderful freaking thing. I get a chance to focus on other young ladies that's playing, that's some that we don't know anything about. And I'm watching it pretty much every day on certain clips, and I'm moving back and forth. It's like, oh man, look at who is this girl? It's a lot of young ladies that we don't talk about that are just as good, or maybe even better. And I'm like, oh, look, her handle is just really phenomenal. She can go left, right. She can shoot the floater. She can shoot a 3. She can gap the seam. She can turn the corner. She can do a lot of different things. So that Caitlin Clark can't do. And that was always my take with Caitlin, is the fact that she just has some disabilities, because the only thing she can do is shoot 3s. So that's my take on that.
Good point. I'll say this. I mean, this New York Liberty team, yes, they're 7-0, and Minnesota, they're both, the hottest 2 teams right now in the W. But you got Stewart, you got Nusko, you got Jones, you got Natasha Cloud. They have 4 players right now in this Liberty team that averaging double-double in points. I mean, I'm going to just call it for how it is. If the season were to end today, who's beating the fucking Liberty in the 7-game series?
Nobody.
I'm just calling how I see. I love the Aces. Of course, I'm a big Jackie Young fan. I love Jackie Young. I think she's arguably the top 3 guard in the WNBA. But Kelsey Plum has been off to a phenomenal start for the Los Angeles Sparks. I mean, she's just been averaging over 23 points per game. Angel Reese, of course, offensively. Chicago has a lot of things to figure out. But Liberty right now, the best team, in my opinion, the best team in the W, despite being 7-0. Nobody right now could beat them in a 7-game series. Chad, you looking at me like you want to say something. Do you disagree? Do you disagree?
No. I just don't think that John Claude Jones gets enough of her flowers.
No, she doesn't. She doesn't.
She
doesn't.
Balling, and to me, she's been the difference maker so far this season for them. You know what I mean? Like she balls, like she brings that toughness.
Yes.
Right? And I really like, she allows everyone else to kind of ball a little more freely, because they have a bona fide enforcer that she ain't playing down in that paint.
Mm-hmm.
No, I mean, she's averaging over 15 points a game, 11 rebounds. That's a double-double if you didn't know. Shooting over 44% from 3. This Liberty team, she helps them in multiple ways, both offensively and defensively. But when you watch the Liberty team play, when she's on the floor, the court is just spaced out where everyone moves off the ball so smoothly with the ball in her hands. She just opened doors for everybody, and that's the type of player you need in your team to help open up. To have a Nusko go and do what she do, to have a Breonna Stewart go and do what she do, because the Liberty aren't 7-0 without her. And she's a big piece for this Liberty team, and I look forward to seeing, of course, the nuclear that this Liberty team has as they move on throughout the WNBA season. But the Commissioner Cup is underway. You can catch more action of the Commissioner's Cup tomorrow with a few games taking place. But this is an interesting take, and I know I got Reggie here, who's a former NFL guy. He knows all the things that go on behind the scenes, in the locker room, in the front office, on the sidelines, in the film room, in the parking lot, on the practice field. Damn it, Reggie, I need to pick your brain on this one, because I'm still trying to figure this thing out, since Aaron Rodgers and the Jets departed. Now, of course, he is not signed with the team yet. So according to sources, now when I say sources, I don't say me. I don't have the sources. I'm just like everybody else. I just read of course, ESPN and all these different things like that. But when I get in the business, of course, I'll have connections to different, people and personnel in different organizations where I can get some information. But sources say that talks between the Steelers and Aaron Rodgers have calmed down. There hasn't been any chatter between the two within the last week or so. Of course, Aaron Rodgers is a free agent after being released by the New York Jets. Jets going in a different direction with Justin Fields. But Reggie, Aaron is still on the chopping block, still looking to sign for a team. There's been talks about the Steelers. There have been talks about the Minnesota Vikings, of course, with them having Justin Jefferson. Where do you see Aaron Rodgers going, or what's your opinion, I should say, on this saga of Aaron Rodgers yet to sign with a team?
Man, I'm not a big Aaron Rodgers fan, believe it or not. I'm a Steelers fan, believe it. I am a Steelers fan. I'm Shabazz, black and gold. I had one of my guys, Keith Willis, play for the Steelers. So I'm a Steelers fan. But if Aaron Rodgers don't play for the Steelers, he ain't playing for nobody. I don't think nobody else want him. I don't know why right now the Steelers still want him. After making me wait so long, I'm like, man, you can take your money and go somewhere. I found somebody else to play. Mm-hmm. He's not a guy. He tore up his foot last year, okay? The year before, whatever it was. He's old, man. He's still got a little bit left in the tank, but I'm not making no big fuss. If Aaron don't play for us, we're going to lose. No, I don't think so. If Aaron don't play for y'all going to win. You've been winning without him. So, I don't, like I said, if he don't go play for the Steelers, I don't think he's going to play. Ooh. That's just my opinion. It's too long, man. You can't make people wait for so long, and then you got somebody else want to call you down. Listen, everybody else got other quarterbacks. There are other young quarterbacks they can pay less money and get just as good. They're going to pay you $18 million for half a year. Nope, I don't think so.
Reggie's a good point because it is a 1-year deal, regardless when you look at it, because Aaron Rodgers not getting any younger. I'm a big advocate. I do believe he still has something in the tank to prove as well. He's got something in the tank. He's one of the best throwing quarterbacks that the league's ever seen. He can put a ball anywhere on the field. If you give him an offensive line, he can make shit happen. The Jets, of course, in 2 years couldn't do that. You look at his first year of the Jets, it only took him 3 plays to tear his Achilles on Monday Night Football, and the rest is history. And then fast forward to last year, the Jets were he was running for his life pretty much every other single play. Bryce Hall couldn't even get more than 7 carries per rush. So give him an offensive line, he can make things happen. I said originally that if he was to go to a team, it would be the Minnesota Vikings. Of course, Sam Darnold's no longer there. He's in Seattle. Of course, J.J. McCarthy, who had a lot of hype coming out of Michigan, he got injured in year 1. Year 2, who knows where they're going. You want to bring in a veteran like that with this team, what they already have offensively. Maybe they can make a push, but he's just following Brett Favre whatever Brett Favre did, Aaron is doing as well, from the Packers to the Jets. The only thing that's missing is the Minnesota Vikings. Right. So, we'll see if that can happen. But Chad and Bryant, let me get your 2 perspectives. Chad, I'll start with you before I go to Bryant. With this Aaron Rodgers madness, I don't know right now if he's in some cave in North Dakota or if he's on a vacation somewhere in the dark somewhere. Where do you see Aaron Rodgers going if he does play this year? Because he also has came out and said that if he doesn't play this year, he has no problem with retiring. But do you see retiring as the case for Aaron Rodgers?
I think it's going to be a pseudo forced retirement. I'm surprised about that even he was a candidate for the Steelers because it doesn't fit the culture of the Steelers organization. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like nothing about the history of the Pittsburgh Steelers says Aaron Rodgers. Right. You know what I mean? Just the level of arrogance and personality alone is not something that you associate with anyone that's not a receiver for the Steelers. Right. Only Steelers receivers have that, right? And they're also usually short-lived there. So listen, I'm hopeful that it's a forced retirement. Not really a big Aaron Rodgers guy. I feel like he's outplayed that chip on his shoulder from being drafted so late, right? And that's kind of expired. Where he's now the chip just turned into like straight up expired. Being a jerk. You know what I'm saying? And a punk.
Yeah, you're right.
Like it's no longer cool. Like it was like, yeah, let's see what this guy can do out of Cal that had to sit in the room and wait and then wait a couple years behind Favre and became the heir apparent and all of that. Now, once he grew up. It was like, yeah, he's good, but he never really fully turned the corner the way that he could have. You know,
Correct.
like even in Green Bay,
Attitude.
like he played. Obviously, he's a top flight elite quarterback. But
Yes.
his trajectory, his prediction was that we're talking like all-time great. You know what I mean? Top 5 all-time potential, right? So he's never really turned that corner. And now that the injuries and all of that, and now hopping around, like there's nothing. Right, exactly. There's nothing in the Steelers organization that's going to really even enhance his legacy.
Yeah.
Like it's to me, it's just like a lose-lose. Like, and I don't want to put that on Brother Tomlin either.
No,
he don't need it. Bryant, your take.
I think that the Steelers missed out on getting Sanders. I would have just went and took that risk to get Sanders right off the gate and basically had that young man be your starter quarterback for the Steelers and groom him for the next 10 years. There was a big miss. I think Tom he may wind up getting fired after this year because he's not going to have another quarterback. I don't think they're going to be that good this year because of it. That was a big miss. I personally think he's been set up to fail, and so they can find another coach. I was disappointed that he wasn't there. He should have been there, and they could have developed him. And I think he would have done phenomenal there and made everybody better. But Cleveland, he's just going to sit there and be behind flag. Reggie, you know the name of the game, what they do in the NFL, and it's like that politics is going to play, and they politicize Sanders the way they did him, and knowing too, we all know that he's not going to play this year. We know this. He's not going to play. If he does, I'll be shocked. I'll be really shocked. They're going to start Flacco, and at the end of the day, the young man deserves to be playing. If they started my man at the Bears from Ohio State, and he really Justin Fields, if he really wasn't that great from the door, I think Sanders is better than Fields. I think Sanders and Fields have better legs, but Sanders has a better arm. It's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? And Monty over here got his face going twisted. He never even played football. So I
played quarterback, and I was pretty good at it too.
In Pee Wee League? That don't count. That don't count.
Ask Dave McSwain, Sean Hayward. Yeah.
Playing outside does not count.
Okay. All right. Whatever.
But anyway, Sanders would have just dominated and been phenomenal with the Steelers. And it's a shame that he's not there. I was looking forward to that draft pick big time. And they dropped the ball.
Dropped the ball big time, but hopefully we'll see if Reggie's Philadelphia Eagles don't drop the ball this upcoming year as they start their quest this upcoming season to defend the throne as the defending NFL Super Bowl champions. Reggie, of course, the Eagles have made some moves this offseason. Darius Slay being one of the key players that have departed from the Philadelphia Eagles organization. You just extended Coach Sirianni to a massive contract deal. It's funny. I'm not sure, Reggie. You probably can tell me because you have connections with the Eagles organization. I don't know if he can actually coach or if the players are getting it done for him. I just can't figure that shit out because you had Kellen Moore. I mean, you've had multiple offensive coordinators since Jalen Hurts been there. Your defensive coordinator is gone. Then you bring in Nick Fangio, who's had the best, of course, defense for the Philadelphia Eagles team in the last 5 years. Is it him? Is it the team? What is it? Can the Eagles repeat?
Let me give you this side, okay? I'm around the Eagles quite a bit. I mean, I live in Atlanta, but I'm with the Eagles a lot. I mean, I go to a lot of the events they do and all kind of stuff. But I'll tell you this: the Eagles have a pretty good group of guys. I don't care who coaches them. If they all come together and play the way they can't be beaten like that. The defense is so damn phenomenal. I don't see. Listen, they got a dynasty going on right there. Mm-hmm. Darius Slay was good. Yes, he was. But listen, they got 2 or 3 guys behind them.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
I'm trying to listen, man. They are lined up for for years to come. Listen, Kansas City. Listen, the Dallas Cowboys, the Giants, the Redskins. Listen, man. It doesn't matter. It don't matter who they play against. They're gonna do what they got to do. And I'm gonna tell you, as long as Jalen is there, they're gonna win.
Who?
They're gonna win. And hear what I said. As long as Jalen is there, they're gonna win. Because the talent around them is that damn good. It's not just about one, it's about all 11 on the field at one time. That's one. They played like that last year. When they didn't win, because they wasn't playing together.
They're gonna win. They drafted well, man. They 90% of that team is from the SEC of the old school. So. Georgia. Yeah, I'm going to give them that one. Alabama, Georgia. They're loaded. It's
dogs.
Yeah, they got some dogs. Yeah,
Jalen Smith. Woo.
Man, listen. Listen, they got more. They got another running back. Listen, I ain't gonna say he's good in Saquon, but he can ball.
Mm-hmm.
Well, came out of South Carolina. Last year. Yeah, he can play.
Yeah,
he can play.
Speaking of Saquon, I don't know. I don't know if y'all believe in like the Madden curse, but Saquon is the cover athlete of Madden 26. I'm not wishing that on anybody. I saw that. I don't know, man. Chad, let's switch gears. You've been a big fan for Shedeur Sanders since he's transferred from Jackson State to Colorado. We've both seen Colorado games multiple times this past year in person, and you've been on a hot seat with him. You weren't sure where he would land when I first asked you, but of course he landed with the Cleveland Browns. We don't know who's going to be the starter, but hypothetically, let's just play devil's advocate. If Shedeur is named the starter for Week 1 for the Cleveland Browns, what do you look forward to seeing from him in year 1 with this organization?
Listen, this young man is a born leader. You know what I'm saying? And ball skills aside, people gravitate towards him. He's engaging. He's all the things that they try to make. He's none of the things that they try to make him to be. He's all the things that I'm just gonna say collective we say that he is. Mm-hmm. And listen, I'm not a Prime fan, but I'm a Shedeur fan. Mm-hmm. I just, not to go off on a tangent, but the way that Prime pimped Jackson State pissed me off, right? Mm. But at the same time, the way that Shedeur handled that and the way that Shiloh handled that was like amazing to me. And that's how I became fans of them as much as I became fans of them on the field. Amen. And I think that's what Shedeur is going to bring. And like to a stumbling franchise, a franchise that can't get out of its own way, to still have Shedeur, in round 5, there's no organization that deserves him less than the one that he's with. But if God willing, if he was able to get that shot on the field, I think that if you're a hater, you're gonna act surprised, right? But at the same time, I think his supporters already know what he's gonna do when he gets his real opportunity. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if even if he did play, right, if it's a genuine opportunity. Right, because are they going to craft the offense around his skill set?
There you go. Now you talking.
Come on, baby.
That's kind of that's how to me that's how they've always set up black quarterbacks, right? Mm-hmm. They say, "Oh, we gave him a shot.
No receivers,
right?
No tight end,
right?
No run game, no offensive line.
Right? We try to put these round pegs in square holes, right? Mm-hmm. And you're not trying to build around. And if you're not giving them a real shot. So it's really going to be up to. They have a coach that can do it, right? So if they don't do it, I'm just gonna say it's an intentional action to not do it, mm-hmm. Because Stefanski, right? That's right.
Kevin Stefanski,
he has the ability to craft that offense. He's very good. He's a very good offensive mind.
Yes,
and
yes.
If he wants to shepherd, that shift, he can. So if it doesn't happen, I'm just saying it's an intentional act. Luckily he's a 5th round pick, and it's just definitely a series of 1-year deals, and I think that it's going to be he's going to be the football version of SGA.
Oh well, when one of your mentors is the great Tom Brady, you can't fail.
Right.
Actually, better yet.
I say that because people don't realize that SGA was not drafted by Oklahoma City.
Correct.
No, he was not.
People forget.
No, he was not.
Right.
You forget it.
And I think that that Shador's story is going to be very similar.
Yeah, I agree with you, Chad. I don't think Shador career rides out in Cleveland. People forget, as you touched on, SGA played for the Clippers behind Chris Paul. And, you know, with Shador and his ability to throw on a run, I mean, shit, he could put a ball anywhere on the field. Let's just call it for what it is.
Anywhere.
I mean, get him some talent. Cleveland has been a disappointment, I should say, with Deshaun Watson giving him over $200 million guaranteed. That experiment didn't work. And then Joe Flacco coming in and getting them to the playoffs and getting him to a playoff game. You can't tell me that Shador can't do those things either. And you know, it's just one of those things where I don't see Shador long-term in Cleveland, but it's damn sure a good way to start as he starts his professional NFL career as a quarterback and a black quarterback. It'll be exciting. And I look forward to seeing what the Browns do. And hopefully Shador can win the starting job because we know politics and how it goes. And Joe Flacco named the starter for week 1. I may just lose my shit. I'm just calling it now. There's just no way that you could tell me in OTAs and training camp that Joe Flacco, being fucking 40 years old, is going to beat out a stud coming out of Colorado who can throw the ball from here to Mississippi. Joe Flacco's our guy for week 1 because he brought us to a playoffs, right? Give me a break. Reggie, go ahead.
Hey, man, you know, I want to share this. It's gonna shift it just a little bit, but I'm not a fan of the NFL. Okay, I played for them. Yes, I did. Okay, I don't go out broadcasting that, hey man, I play football and it's the greatest thing in the world. Nope. Football to me right now is another version of the slave trade. Okay, all the guys that are owning the team are the masters, and you know, you put the guys up on the drafting to draft them, and you come and pay for them, and you bid on them, and that's what it's like. And when they're done with you, they throw your ass away.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and for me, man, it's like it's part of the NFL concussion thing. You know, a lot of guys that they teach you how to go out there and be run, block, tackle. And you know what? When you finish, you know, it's like, get out of here. We done with you. Okay. But listen, we taught you how to do this so you can be strong. But when it comes to the lawsuit, we taught you how to do this, but now you can do this. Now we don't want to pay you. But all the white guys, they pay because they said, well, we can do this. Now, don't get me wrong. For me, it's not a prejudice thing. It is. You gave all those guys money, but you told us we were too good and we should be able to do this because they taught us how to do this. But now when it comes time to pay up, it's $1 billion sitting there and you don't want to pay these guys? Because what? Because you're more suited to deal with the stuff you're dealing with than they are? Man, do you hear what I just said? Okay. Mm-hmm. And you know, I'm dealing with that right now. Okay. Mm-hmm. And there you go. And you know, man, I'm telling you, to me, that's the biggest crop. I'm just biggest.
You can say it. Go ahead.
Crock of shit they ever came up with. Okay. And again, it's known. It's racist. There's a lawsuit. We had lawyers that fought this, so now they got to change the whole program. So somebody now got to go back for the 4th time to go and do this to get paid for something that, damn, what did we just talk about? You hear me? Mm-hmm. And you tell me you want me to sit around the house and do nothing and just die? I'm not gonna do that. Listen, man, I write stuff down. I got notes all over the damn house. Okay, I got notes all over my house because I need to remember what the hell I got to do. I got things that I say, well, what am I going to talk about? I wrote it down tonight because I got to look at it and see what I was going to talk about. How can I do that? If my wife is not here with me, I don't go nowhere. Mm-hmm. I don't go nowhere. I go to the gym. And they said I shouldn't drive because that, you know, you can't drive. But listen, I can go to the gym. It's 3 miles. I ain't got to go. I got to make 2 turns out of the driveway into the damn parking lot. And you know what? They say I shouldn't be able to do that. But you want me to sit around and die? Mm-hmm. Look, man, you had a problem with me working. Every job I've had the last 7, 8 years, I've worked with kids. That's what I do. I work with kids. I go to the prison, talk to prisoners. You know why? Because I say the same damn thing all the time. Sit down. Don't do that. Go to prisoners. Hey, man, guess what I did? I played football. I did drugs. I got off drugs. I'm better now, but I don't remember shit. That's my life. But you know what? I get up every morning. If I don't get up in the morning to go to the gym, something is wrong with me. I'm not going because I want to play anymore. I'm going because I want to live. I want to enjoy the rest of this. They took a lot of it from me. But you know what? If I had a chance to do it all over again, I'd do it the same damn way. Because if you change one thing, you change the whole damn trajectory. It's a Wonderful Life. That's my favorite movie. And you know what? I'm not changing nothing. But damn it, I did something. You said I was going to get paid for it because I lost a lot. Guess what? It ain't got nothing to do with age. You bump upside your damn head, you shake it like a damn egg in a helmet. The egg gonna crack. The egg gonna crack, brother. It's scrambled. Okay? Only thing ain't got on is salt and pepper. I apologize, man. I ain't mean to go nowhere.
You good. You good.
Hey,
that's what we do.
Look, I recognize that, man, and like they said, the average age of a football player, especially if you play in the NFL, dying is 58. It's like, you know, and he's a miracle because he's 65 years old and he's still here.
Amen.
So it's like I get it, you know. So even, you know, from college to going into the NFL, and you get those flashes of that stuff. So it's something to be talked about. You know, a lot of those guys, they did do stuff, you know what I mean? And I got quite a few partners. I had a partner just passed away. Last week we talked about with Swift Birch, and you know, I lost quite a few of the football players that I played with, you know, in their 40s, some in their 30s, some, you know what I mean, in their 50s, some in their 20s. There's one football player that he didn't even get a chance to get out
18.
of Temple.
Yeah.
He was 26 years old. He was a linebacker. He shot and killed himself because of CTE. So it's no joke, man. It's really no joke. I feel that I'm blessed to be able to, you know, get out of there for now, scathe through. You know, I'm able to do some things, but I still got to write stuff down, even though I'm still there to be able to, you know, get back and forth and remember a lot.
Practice.
Yeah, just keep going. Him and I can never stop.
Yeah.
That's why you see me never sitting still, because once we sit still, that's when we begin to die. It's just what it is with football.
Hey, man, because you said that, I want to add something to that. See, a lot of people think that when you die, it's over. No, when you die, it's not over. It's over when you quit.
When you quit, yep.
I'm not quitting. I don't know how to listen. I've been a fool all my life. You know why I've been a fool? Because I don't know how to stop. I don't know how to quit. You know, I should have quit things a long time ago, but I didn't know how. Because that's not what I was taught. Be a man, boy, don't cry. Shit, they taught me wrong as hell. I know now you should cry. A man can cry. That's why he got tear ducts. But you know what? That's what they teach us. They taught us a lot of things wrong. But guess what? I'm here right now, and I'm teaching them every damn thing I can. Because you ain't got to believe nothing I say, but damn it, watch me. That's what I tell them. You ain't got to believe nothing I say, but watch me. Watch what I do. Watch where I go. Watch how I move. Okay? It'll tell you the story. Man, I got stories that just want to change people's mind. You know, they said, I ain't gonna get hooked on this. No, I ain't gonna get hooked on it either. I found something that kicked my ass, boy, and I never go back again. I got people right now tell all day, every day, man, you know, you 6 foot, 155 pounds, and you ain't got nothing. I'm 6 foot, 300 pounds. And you know what? It whipped my ass. You ain't got a chance. So don't think that it can't happen to you. I'm a pro football player. I can do anything. Yeah, I'm like Mike Tyson too. No one can beat me, man. No one can beat me. Something kicked my ass. I found it. It'll find you. Okay? And today, man, I'm so grateful. Listen, man, it's an honor and a privilege to be on the show tonight with y'all. Y'all hear me? It's an honor and a privilege, man. Because I'm going to tell you, all the years I played, I got more now than I had all the years I played. It ain't about money. A good name is better than anything I got. Because I tell you, anytime you go ask somebody, you know Reggie Brown? Reggie Brown, you mean Trump? Yeah, I know Trump. Listen, they're going to say one thing. He always laughing. He always smiling. He ain't never had a bad word to say about nobody. If you ain't got nothing good to say to them, don't say nothing. Guess what, y'all? Hey man, listen. I can't apologize, man. I told you. I told you, you get me going, man. And I'm like, I don't know how to stop. Listen, I'm
gonna let you know now, Reggie. When Chris sends the bill for this episode, it's going to you. It's going to you. I'm mailing it to your house.
Amen.
You take care of tonight's episode. The bills, you got it. Chad, you wanted to say something, man. Go ahead. I know you wanted to piggyback.
It was the chew you up and spit you out. How the league plays you, right? Like I held up the book. Well, I mean, I love it by the OG Bill Rhoden, black columnist, black journalist, legend, $40 million slaves. He talks about all of that. But it's shout out to like Jim Marshall that just passed away. He's a Vikings legend, but
yes.
and like I said, he's a Vikings legend, Hall of Fame caliber talent, and all of this, but the way that NFL has always marketed him was for his worst moment, for recovering the fumble and running the wrong way.
Yeah.
Right. Like,
wow.
So imagine living that, right? Like we talk about being traumatized and shoot up and spit out. You're not being celebrated for your accomplishments. Yeah. You're only being marketed. And I remember the play. You know what I'm saying? Because it used to be like on the video game that you used to have on the VCR. You have to watch the game. Whatever. It was one of those famous plays that they would always show that he picked up the ball and ran the wrong way, and it ended up being a safety instead of a touchdown. But it's just the mentality of how they don't value the psyche or care for the one that's generating the wealth. Actually, right?
What have you done for me lately?
Yeah, exactly, and like. What's your worst moment is more important to me than all the value that you brought to my organization for decades. And I think that's just kind of, that's my love-hate relationship with with my favorite sport, right? Like I love the game, hate the business.
Yes,
right?
Absolutely. Number one point.
Great point. I mean, listen, some of my most traumatic moments happen on the football field.
Amen.
You know what I'm saying? Think like literally things that I think about nearly daily happen in my childhood and in my teens, right, on the football field. And like you think about, and it's never the touchdown, never the sack, never the hit. It's always your screw up that sits with you because that's what's highlighted the most. Yeah. And like the trauma of a football player, it is just as important as the physical scars that you carry with you as well.
Yes, sir.
I mean, I hurt my knee in high school. I hurt my back the first time in high school. And those, if you ask me what are my biggest things as a 50-year-old now, it's my knee and my back. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And so, so just the physical piece is one thing, but I think that there's a trauma aspect to it, and the fact that this generation's player doesn't stand for the trauma, and then they're villainized for being soft or for not being coachable or all of these things, whatever. No, they don't want to deal with your trauma and your bullshit no more. They don't have to, right? No. This is the generation where bullying became illegal. So they don't got to deal with your nonsense no more. They're going to go to the next school. I celebrate that. I love one of my favorite things in sports is the transfer portal and NIL. I love it because I think that it
opportunity.
And it brings value to the ones that are generating the actual revenue.
Absolutely.
Agreed.
Good point.
Reggie, I want you to do me a favor.
Yes, sir.
I want you to take your book. I want you to show it to the world, please. What happened to the Playbook? This is Reggie Brown's book, newly released. Reggie, I know you put some deep thought. First off, congratulations. First and foremost, congratulations. Give me your quick insight on this. What was the inspiration that you got to write this book, and most importantly, what motivated you at that particular time in your life to write it and to release it and to publish it for everybody out there to read?
See, most people think of football player, you go out there and play football, make $1 million. That's a lie. That's a straight out lie. You go out there and bust your butt. They don't care about you. All they care about is your number and your worth right now. And I talk about in this book from where I came from, how I got there, what the hell took me back out, and how long it took me to get back. And you know what? From Newark, New Jersey to the NFL and back, that's what it's like. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I talk about it, man, and I had to tell people what it was like, you know, what it's like to really come from this place that you ain't never had nothing, to have everything and have it taken. I ain't gonna say taken from me, to give it up. Nobody took nothing from me. I gave it away because you know drugs are more important. You know that was the system piece, okay, placed in a spot just for me. And you know what? I fell for it because I didn't have that backing. You know what I mean? But I tell you what, one day I fell down and said, Lord, God, take this out of my hand. He said, I'm going to give you the strength to do it yourself. And I'm going to tell you, man, I thank God every day. And you see, my shirt says, it says, great day to be alive. That's my motto, okay? Mm-hmm. That's my brand. Great day to be alive. And I'm going to tell you right now, man, if it had not been for the struggles that I went through, I wouldn't be sitting here right now. Listen, this is the story just because of that. There's a guy running one day in the park, and he runs by this tree, and he sees a leaf. On the leaf, it was a moth, right? It was, how would I put it? It was a cat. It was inside of a leaf, right? It was curled up, whatever. They called it a cocoon. Okay, he took the cocoon home, he put it on the heat lamp, and a couple of days went by, came back, looked at it, nothing. So he cut a hole in the bottom of it. And in the bottom of it, the hole was sitting there. A couple of days later, he came by and it was dead. See, why did it die? Because the caterpillar inside the cocoon eats a hole in the bottom of it, so when he squeezes through the hole, it pushes blood into the wings. But if he don't go through the struggle, he's going to die. The struggle makes you stronger. I thank God for the struggles. Mm-hmm. I thank God for all those things that I had to go through, I had to endure, to make me the man that I am right now. I'm a stronger man today because of the things that I went through in the past. Because if you ain't going through nothing, you can't come out. Mm-hmm. So while you're going through it, keep going. There's an end to that thing you're going through. And you know what? It ain't over yet. I'm still here. Mm-hmm. I got more people to help. Okay? See, I am Hope. My name is Hope. Hope. You know what it stands for? Helping other people everywhere. That's what I do. If I can't help you, I ain't gonna hurt you. I'll leave you alone. Hey man, I get a little excited at times. I apologize. Hey man, listen. You imagine me going around the country speaking, and this is what I do, man. I have a passion for telling the story. I'm a storyteller, and I like.
Hope you charge per day and not per hour.
Hey man, I tell you what, I give them what they pay me for. Okay. Some people say, well, how much you charge? I say, I'll tell you what, let me come do what I do. And there's a fee, of course, but I say you let me know what I come and do what I do, and you let me know what I'm worth. I've done that several times, but now I don't do that no more. You know what I mean? But I like going and do what I do, man. It doesn't matter where I go, I travel.
I want to go to a prison and speak myself, man. I do that. I would go to a prison and speak to inmates. I would juvenile. I want to go to see the children.
Oh, well, you should have told me that. You should have told me that a long time ago. I could hook that up next week.
Amen.
That'd be dope, man. Love to do that.
Hey man, it's been a blessing, man.
Thank you.
It's been a blessing.
Thank you for your contributions to the world. Amen. Your contributions to us, your blessings with your presence here tonight. And like I said, Chris, you getting the bill for tonight's show. That's for damn sure. Because, I appreciate you. But damn it, Chris charged me per hour. And, he's not cheap either. And shit. But I appreciate you, man. Say, right? It's been a blessing. What? Great day to be alive?
I keep saying,
great day to be alive.
I say amen. Mm-hmm. Amen. You got it.
Hey, look. It's about that time now because normally, or I should say every week, there's a particular hot take that is hot and fire right now the last 4 weeks trending. Brian's been doing a phenomenal job on his Coach Garv's hot take, as we call it. And I can't promise you what he's going to say. I can't promise you if it's PG-13. I can't guarantee what comes out of his mouth actually may make sense. I just don't know. But what I will tell you is you damn sure will be entertained. Bryant, it's time for this week's edition of Coach Gar's Hot Take.
All right, now this is basically for Reggie because he's been in that system of with the NFL and understanding this is the NBA, and people don't understand why the Knicks lost. I personally say they lost right here for the top 5 and top 6. You paid them too much goddamn money. You didn't have enough on that roster to add more players to that roster so you can play them, Tibbs. $53 million for Karl Anthony Towns. He's not fucking Michael Jordan. Why are you paying him that much money for someone who can't even play defense? It makes absolutely no sense. OG is not worth $39 million. These guys that's on here, you got Jalen. He's not worth $34 million. You have Bridges. Bridges is not barely worth $24 million. You could have did more with that money, but yet you threw it out there like hotcakes. But then when they were winning, it was great. But then they started losing. Everybody's going to sit there and look at the numbers. These numbers are ridiculous. This is where they lost. Get more players. Do better drafting. Stop trying to pay all these players money that they don't need. Let them earn it. Why are you going to give them something before they earn it? They didn't earn this shit. It's upsetting to see this because it's a trend. You're paying people too much money and they stop playing. Bring back the old school, the way they pay them a little and let them earn something instead of giving it. Yes, I know. They want to get this money and want to take care of their families.
We lost Bryant because I think Chris has had enough of his bullshit of the Knicks. I don't blame him. And Chad's had enough as well. So I'll piggyback. All right. We look at this graphic here. By the year 2027, Karl Anthony Towns will be getting paid over $61 million. Now, that's a lot of money for a guy who hasn't brought you to an NBA Finals. That's a lot of money for a guy who hasn't shown up in the NBA playoffs, particularly in the Eastern Conference Final against the Indiana Pacers. That's a lot of money for a guy who likes to play more of outside than with using his skill set and his size, like a Joel Embiid, like Anthony Davis, like a Joker who can give you back to the basket footwork. Now, Brian, this is Brian's hot take, so I'm not going to come in and steal the flow. He's
right.
back.
I'm back because something that happened. This segment is so freaking long that now I have to sit there and make adjustments because my stuff died. But yet you're sitting here, you're paying players too much freaking money. So now there's Bridges don't even look the same like he did in Phoenix. Phoenix, he was just a freaking phenomenal. He was a dog. Now he's like a goddamn chihuahua. It makes no sense. Like, hey, you got to go back to what worked before.
Yes.
Jordan took a minimum yet, but he got all his money from endorsements. Yep. Take the minimum, spread it out, let everybody else eat. Take your winnings when it's at the end. Put it inside your contract. Build it up. Earn it. Knicks should have won. They should have won this damn series if they would have did it right, but they didn't do it right. They did it all the way wrong. Now you got rid of your coach. Tibbs did it wrong. The whole organization is shit.
Yeah, looking at this roster, that roster is shit.
It's worse. Roster is shitty. Like you're paying someone $1 million to sit his ass on a fucking bench. Are you kidding me?
Pay me $1 million. They go sit there right now.
Yeah, pay me. I sit my ass there and go to practice every day and laugh all the way to the bank. Yeah, they get $700,000-800,000 after taxes and paying their dues and all that other stuff. But hey, you're not doing any fucking thing. You're not practicing during the season.
Yeah.
You're just traveling.
Yeah, good point.
So what the fuck? You're sitting up there, $12 million.
Mitchell Robinson. What did he do?
He contribute in the Eastern Conference Final against the Patriots. I mean, offensively, he can't do shit or make his free throws. They pay him $12 million to miss free throws.
Yes. What did he do? $12 fucking million to do what?
And then
and you're gonna sit there and you're gonna talk about how they played. No, you gave them too much money. That's why they didn't earn it. They sat back and I'm going home to my mansions and sit there and chill because look at the amount of money these guys are getting.
I mean, it's
earn it.
7, 26, 61, 20, 27. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money.
Earn it. That's over $100 million you got there with the first 5 guys.
Yep.
Earn it. It happened to one of mine that I coach, Hassan Whiteside. They gave him $96 million. Soon as they gave him 96, he haven't been worth shit since.
His father was with me last week.
Oh, what was he?
Yes.
Yeah, it gave him all that money, and he just died.
I asked him what happened to him, man.
It should have never been that way.
Too early.
It should have never been that way.
Too early.
I'm happy that he got the money, but you gave it to him too soon.
Too soon. No,
too soon. You're giving these guys too much money too soon, and these agents are going there to get their money, and they chilling on these boats and these yachts and all this bullshit. Yep. They don't care. They won. It's over. Yep. But it's the fans that's showing they want appreciation. The Knicks want to win a championship. They want it. They want it bad. But you're not going to win it this way.
Yep.
You're not.
You won't.
You're just not. So I don't care what coach you bring in there. I don't care who you bring in there try to do X, Y, and Z. You're losing it by these numbers that you're watching on this screen right now.
Yep. Knicks got a lot to figure out. But public service announcement. That's Brian Garvin's hot take, by the way. Coach Garvin hot take every week on the Rewind. But Chad, I waited for this all fucking night. I could not wait. May God have mercy on your soul.
He has.
This week's we are blessed. All 4 of us Black Kings are blessed.
Man.
But I need Brian and Reggie just to sit this one out and let me and Chad do this one-on-one. Now y'all can be the referees. Y'all can be the commentators. Y'all can be the judges. I don't give a shit.
Dang.
But this right here is, you a fan of wrestling? Stone Cold versus The Rock? I'm Stone Cold Steve Austin. I'm the babyface. And Chad's the fucking heel. And he's got the title, and I want it. It's this week's edition of Rewind of the Week. Let's fucking go. Two things. First, I don't know if you guys remember this or not, but last week I said on the end of the episode 20 of the Rewind that Chad made a comment privately, and I would never disclose the messages because that's just, we don't do that. But Chad and I have had these conversations for the last few months, and I've come to figure out and finally realize that Chad is a Kobe Bryant hater. Here's why. Last week I said that Chad he gave me his, and I can go pull it up, but I won't. He gave me his greatest of all time list. Right? He's got Kobe Bryant at number 11. I have a problem with that. That's first off. Second, he's got Isaiah Thomas. No disrespect to Isaiah Thomas. I think arguably the second greatest point guard to ever play the game behind Magic Johnson. Not taking that away. As number 8 all time. All time. Greatest of, 1 through 10. Rank your top players. Michael, Shaq, Kareem, Larry, Tim Duncan, Shaquille O'Neal. I mean, 8. He's got Kobe at 11. Let me just pull out Kobe's resume. And Chad, you can have the floor because I don't plan on being long because Reggie has already ran up the rent. Kobe's an 18-time All-Star. He's a 5-time WNBA champion. He's a 4-time All-Star MVP. He's a 2-time Finals MVP. He's a 2-time scoring champion, which he should have had more, but that's a conversation for another day. He's a 15-time first-team All-Defense. I don't think y'all understand that. The next one goes over people's heads, most importantly, because this is something LeBron doesn't have on his resume at all. And until he gets that, he will no longer or ever, in my opinion, be in the conversation for greatest of all time. He's a 12-time, 1-2, the great Tom Brady, 12-time first team all defense. Now, Michael Jordan's been in that conversation a whole lot. 12-time first team all defense. I think that's most importantly goes unnoticed. 07-08 MVP, and Steve Nash took his in 2006. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. No, God's name they gave Steve Nash MVP when Kobe led the league in 05 and 06, despite the Lakers being garbage. That's beside the point. 2010 alone, he had 7 game winners. 7. When's the last time LeBron had a game winner? Is LeBron a closer? Can he go win you a game? Black Mamba can. But to have him at number 11, greatest of all time, Isaiah Thomas being number 8, Chad, I'm disgusted. The floor is yours.
So just a quick modification. Isaiah's 9 and Kobe's 11 on my list. It's 9 and 11. First off, I'll say this.
Why? I want to know why.
But before that, I want anyone to use the Wayback Machine, Google's still free, and find any list prior to 2020 that had Kobe in the top 5. But like I think that's important. That's an important piece because there's a huge nostalgia aspect to being. And not for nothing, if anyone told me that I was a top 11, right, and out of something that thousands of people have done ever in history, I would see it as the honor that it is. Now, the problem is and I get that the part that sticks in your craw because is the Isaiah versus Kobe.
No, it's not. It's not. It's the fucking 10 other players you got ahead of them. Just real quick. I'm not gonna get into stats, just names. I have Bron, MJ, Kareem, Magic. Wait! You got Bron number 1?
I'm not even discussing that. Shaquille, Tim Duncan, Wilt, Bill Russell, Isaiah Thomas, Steph, and then Cole.
You have Steph. Tonight's episode has been brought to you by Global Sports Entertainment 3. If you are just watching tonight's episode, you can catch this tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern Time on all First off, you got LeBron at 1. That's a fucking problem. You have MJ at 2. That's definitely a fucking problem. You have Isaiah at 9, Steph at 10, and Kobe at 11.
Yes. Now
you're gonna go viral.
Now check this. But it's rational, right? Was it easier for Kobe to be the second best 2 guard of all time in comparison to Isaiah being the second best point guard of all time? Which one had to play a better brand of basketball with their skill set in order to reach their greatness? On top
Kobe Bryant.
Right, of course. I already know how. I know the. Beans, folks, like it's not a logical conversation. It's kind of like the top. It's kind of like that top 5 rappers list. Hold on, kind of like the top 5 rappers list where people mistake favorite for best, and I give a little grace because that's kind of like what has happened in the social media age. People mix up favorite with best, right? It's like those that have like Lil Wayne in their top 3. He's their favorite, but not the best. And I think that's kind of where a lot of people are with Bean. He's their favorite player, but not necessarily the best. In comparison, and we're splitting hairs when you're talking about the top 10 to 15 players. You're splitting hairs anyway. So all of these players have a case for being top 3. They all have a case. Because even if you talk about Steph, you're talking about it revolutionizing an era and ushering in an entire era of basketball. That's an impact that elevates him along with the championships and everything else.
Chad,
Mm-hmm.
respect your opinion.
I'm a data guy.
When we talk about Isaiah Thomas, and again, no disrespect.
No, disrespect that.
Brian, you're right. Let me turn my savage up. Prior to
handle
first title, he was getting his ass smacked around by the Celtics. That's number one. He got his back-to-back. Great. What was his resume in the 90s? Detroit fell off, and so did he.
So it's like, why did Kobe only win the amount of NBA Finals MVPs that he did?
I'm not done. I gave you the floor. I got it now.
Have at it.
Kobe was able to revolutionize and take his game to another tier. Something Isaiah Thomas didn't do. From 8 to 24. That's 2 careers right there. Literally. Multiple finals appearances, multiple NBA Finals championships, scoring records, game winners, and dominated in a league for a long period of time. I can't say the same for Isaiah Thomas. I can't say Isaiah Thomas led the league in scoring. I can't say Isaiah Thomas was a MVP of the league. I can't say that. You can say it for Kobe Bryant. And this notion of like Isaiah Thomas being ranked 9 for what? Being a part of a bad boys team that fucking broke almost Michael Jordan's fucking leg in half and winning back-to-back titles playing dirty with the great Bill Laimbeer and the great Coach Chuck. What happened after that, Chad? Where did the Pistons go? Were the Pistons relevant after that second NBA Finals? Were they relevant in the 90s? Did Isaiah Thomas take his career to another level? Was Isaiah able to get back to the Eastern Conference Finals to beat MJ or potentially try and beat MJ? Fuck no. So this notion of like Isaiah being 9 is like disrespectful. And like your whole list entirely is disrespectful because you got LeBron at 1. For what? For what? Why? I'm gonna fucking have a heart attack and pop an artery because of this list. They hate to, like, why is Kobe at 11? What about his resume? What about his game don't you respect?
Oh, there's nothing about his game that I don't respect.
So what is it? I mean, 3-peats, go through a down spur, losing 0-4 to Detroit, fire Phil Jackson after the 0-4 season. 05 we're trash. 06 we're garbage. 07 we bring Phil Jackson back because he was dating Jeannie Buss at the time. Put together a championship roster. Go to the NBA Finals and lose to Boston in 08. Led the league in scoring in 2008. Won an MVP in 2008. 2009 win an NBA championship and beating Orlando 4-1. But not to mention, look at the teams he had to go through to get to the finals. You had to go through Tim Duncan and the Spurs, Dirk Nowitzki and the Mavs, Steve Nash and the Suns. I mean, Chris Paul and the Hornets, Deron Williams and the Utah Jazz. I mean, to go through the West, it wasn't no fucking cakewalk. You had to go through Hall of Famers.
Bird and MJ.
That's
it's
it.
Not the same.
I just named you the whole Western Conference.
There's only one Finals MVP. There's only been one Finals MVP that has beaten Bird, Magic, and MJ in the playoff series. And guess who that is?
That's Isaiah Thomas.
That's Isaiah
Correct.
Thomas.
And we talking about the same guy who Michael Jordan couldn't beat, and that was Larry Bird and the Celtics in the playoffs. Never won.
Talk about their best game. What's Kobe's best postseason game? And compare it to Isaiah's best postseason game.
Why are we comparing games?
I'm just saying, like, there's
Kobe's done something Isaiah Thomas has never done. That's score 81 points in a basketball game. Never been done since.
It
ever won't be done since.
Who cares about regular season? Isaiah Thomas's averages, all of his career averages increased in the postseason. Bean was the same post and regular. He was super consistent, which is dope. I mean, he's top
2008 playoffs, 2009 playoffs. He was averaging over 27 a game.
Okay.
Why are we putting numbers in this when, again, Kobe Bryant's resume is by far superb or better than Isaiah Thomas?
I mean, 20. I have it. 25-5 and 4, 23-9. That's markedly that's seriously a better statistical line. That's serious. That you're really comparing that.
Why are we comparing the two?
It's not a statistical conversation. That's why I say
it's not. It shouldn't be.
With Kobe fans,
it really shouldn't be about stats.
It really is. Listen,
it's disrespect.
Fans, I missed the day at work. I love bro. I didn't go to work. They still talk to me.
I've had enough.
You know,
I've had enough. You went. I don't have enough time to really dissect this the way I want to, the way I would like
it's
to.
All emotion. That's why you can't.
It's not motion. It's facts. It's facts. You had from a span of 2000. Actually, I'm gonna go from 2004 to 2010. He had to go through Hall of Famers to get to a championship.
So did Zeke. So did Zeke.
His career was dead in the 90s. Dead. He didn't make another All-Star game, another All-Star team.
You want to talk about Kobe in the 2010s? You want to do that?
He didn't get to another Eastern Conference final game. He didn't get to another NBA championship.
2010s?
Well, first off, 2011, we got swept by the Mavericks when the team was old. We didn't make moves that we needed to. Phil Jackson gets fired. 2012, we bring in Mike D'Antoni, which was a disaster. Traded for Steve Nash, his guy. Bring in Dwight Howard. That was trash.
Everybody else's fault.
I mean, it doesn't take away the greatness of Kobe Bryant. If Kobe Bryant don't tear his Achilles against Golden State, Kobe Bryant was averaging 25, 26 that year when he tore his Achilles. And if he didn't tear his Achilles, the Lakers make the playoffs. And shit, the Lakers make out in the second round.
That became the bar, making the playoffs.
When you lose pieces, that plays a part. It plays a part.
Right. Just like when Isaiah lost Rodman.
Oh my God. Fucking give me a break.
You lose a Hall of Famer, it means something, right?
Give me a fucking break. Joe Dumars got old.
You're making this.
Rick Mahorn got old.
To both of them.
Rick Mahorn got old. He's a Hall of Famer.
You're making an argument that applies to both of them.
I'm not. I'm making an argument that you should not have Kobe. If there's a person in America that has Kobe Bryant ranked 11th or anything outside the top 5 and it grades the all-time discussions, go fucking jump off the nearest bridge and fucking. I hope you live this fucking.
No. I mean, if you look at actual, please.
Somebody did have Kobe at 11 on a list, and it was shocking that
should be fired.
It was shocking that they did. They really did.
Fired.
You know, I don't think Steph is top 10 at all. I think Steph is probably the last. He's probably the best shooter, but that's about it. At the end of the day, you know, I think Isaiah. It's Kobe definitely is in the top 10
by far. With my fuck, I mean, Reggie could do that. He didn't play in the NBA. Yeah. I mean, if you ask somebody, hey, would you take Kobe on your team or Isaiah Thomas? When people put out their greatest all time starting 5s, Isaiah Thomas is in none of them. He may be coming off the bench, but he's not in none of them. Kobe at the 2,
and
Mike
Kobe's
at the 3.
Not on a lot of those either.
Kobe at the 2, Mike at the 3.
Not on a lot of those either. MJ, Mike, Shaq, Bron, and what are we missing? We're missing a 4. We're missing a 4, right? So you still not putting Kobe there.
First off, in any 5.
Tim Duncan.
Any 5. One thing's for sure, 2 things for certain. LeBron ain't on my 5.
That's just hate, though.
That's not hate. That's factual. That's factual. That's motion.
Who's a better 3 in the history of the NBA?
I can go with Larry. I can go with Kevin Durant, the greatest scorer, arguably the greatest scorer of all time. Go get a bucket. Nothing against Bron, but you got Bron number 1, so that tells me everything I need to know.
You act like I'm on an island with that.
You got him ahead of Michael Jordan, and I don't understand why.
I'm not on an island with that. It's not like it's an unpopular opinion. That's not like going.
It's your opinion. You're right. Let's get into Floss and Moss and end this show. I'm gonna have a heart attack on a rewind, and I can't afford to have that. Chris,
Yeah, because your
take
heart
us there,
younger than
please.
mine, bro. I can't do that.
Take us there, Chris. Floss and Moss this week. Let's. I only have one thing to say. Edmonton Oilers versus Florida Panthers, Stanley Cup final. Florida Panthers beat Edmonton Oilers last season in the Stanley Cup final in 7. That shit ain't happening this year. I'm still pissed off from fucking Chad's antics about Isaiah Thomas. Game 1 tonight. Regardless of who wins game 1, Edmonton is going to get it done in 6. The tariffs are out of control. Donald Trump's raising it from 25 to 50%. Canada needs the money. Chris needs to stay as our producer. And damn it, I'm still pissed off. Edmonton Oilers, let's fucking go. That's all I got. I don't have enough of Floss and Moss. But I'm going to go around the room. Reggie, before we sign off tonight, give the people where they can purchase your book as well as follow you on social media platforms. Give it to them.
So I'm on Facebook as Reggie V. Brown, or you can always hit me up on my website, greatdaytobealive.net. All together, no words no space in between, greatdaytobealive.net. Just like it says, greatdaytobealive.net. Okay? Phone number, you can hit that too, 973-703-7860. Call me, I send it to you next day. 973-703-7860.
Hey, look, America. After tonight's episode, I'm putting for all my NBA fans, Kobe Bryant fans of the game, I'm putting Chad's number out there. Call him, text him, because this motherfucker here, man, he's crazy. Chad, for the people out there that's going to be watching as well as watching with episode 21, for the people out there to support you, follow you, where can they find you on social media platforms? And where can they DM you about your antics of tonight's episode?
Oh, please get at me. Let's have the conversation. Let's go live. I can't wait to do some TikTok lives about this. I think
please invite me. Bring me on.
We're gonna do it. We're gonna go live on TikTok. But that just kind of happened to be my biggest platform right now. You see, I changed my screen name CL_smoothest. So there was a rapper that's imitating, the CL Smooth for a long time, but I had to let them know that I was the smoothest, I won on the long run. So just get at me, and then we can chat it up about why Isaiah Thomas is a much better player than Kobe Bryant. I had to rage bait you. I had to rage bait you.
Brian, any last words before we sign off episode 21?
After hearing that take, I don't have nothing to say. He's just got. I'm just stuck. Kobe's from Philly. Even Isaiah's from Chicago, and my high school played against his high school. It was St. Rita and St. Joseph's. No, it's just no. It's just no.
And I'm tired of people saying that Kobe's from Philly. He ain't from Philly.
Well, he's from wherever, the Netherlands, but yet he played in Philly. Yeah, so, but at the end of the day, man, yeah. All right. Woo. Yeah, it's your show, Monty.
Episode 21. I want to give a special thank you to our producer, the man that holds it down each and every week, Chris in 1990 Studios. If you haven't, please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel at @TheRewind_GSC3, as well as follow us on all social media platforms at @TheRewind_GSC3, as well as on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts from. Man, it's been an amazing episode tonight. I want to give a special thank you to Reggie Brown, who will be paying the bill for tonight's episode, as well as my big brother Chad, who holds it down each and every week. Appreciate always breaking bread with you. Honored for you both to come on tonight. I just don't know how to go from here.
Mission accomplished banner.
From Reggie Brown to Chad to Brian Garvin, Monty Moss, episode 21 in the book. Signing off. Go Oilers. Go Oilers. Let's go.
Let's go!
I was checking out the scouting report, and I don't see nothing but bums. You and your whole entire world know that I am the one. You and your squad ain't got nothing for me.
Hey.
Your organization is looking stressed,
What?
and now that you haters is running from me, I know that you see that I'm highly blessed.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Yeah, we live with your boy Coach G. Yeah, we live with your boy Monty.
You and your squad ain't got nothing for me. Your organization is looking stressed, and now that you haters is running from me, I know that you see that I'm